Today we are going to practice skimming. When we skim, we just look for general information or general ideas of a text. And we usually try to do that by reading the text quickly. For that reason, whenever you find a word or a phrase that you are not familiar with or that you do not know the meaning, you do not stop for dictionary meaning because that will slow you down. Also, we do not read sentence by sentence in the text. We just pay attention to several parts that we think will give us idea on what is the text about. Alright everyone, now it's time to practice skimming. On your screen, you can see that there is a text entitled Reassessing the Impacts of Brain Drain on Developing Countries. It is mentioned in the previous slide that reading the title can be very helpful to get you an idea of what is the text about. But the case is sometimes you are not familiar with the terms used in the title. For example, in this case, brain drain. Now let's go down. Right. Once again, in skimming, you do not read all sentences in the text. So you do not read from this paragraph until the last paragraph sentence by sentence. But we read only several parts. For example, here in the first paragraph, you read all of them carefully. And then the first and last sentence of another paragraph. Also, this one, the last paragraph. You should read the last paragraph attentively, just like the first paragraph. Okay, now let's begin. Brain drain, which is the action of having highly skilled and educated people leaving their country to work abroad, has become one of the developing countries' concerns. Brain drain is also referred to as human capital flight. More and more third world science and technology educated people are heading for more prosperous countries seeking higher wages and better working conditions. This has of course serious consequences on descending countries. Alright, so in the title you have the word brain drain, which probably you are not familiar with. But in this paragraph it is already explained that brain drain is the action of having highly skilled and educated people leaving their country to work abroad. So you've got the idea of what brain drain is. And you can guess that the text will talk about this issue, the brain drain. Particularly, it will talk about the impact, as already mentioned in the title. Now let's take a look at the first sentence of the second paragraph. While many people believe that immigration is a personal choice that must be understood and respected, others look at the phenomenon from a different perspective. Once again, from a different perspective. So you can see here that this paragraph will talk about this perspective. Now let's go to the last sentence of the second paragraph. The pull factors, however, include intellectual freedom and substantial funds for research. We can see here that there is a word pull, so the pull factors, and then we have however in the sentence. Because we have the contrast marker here, however, and we have the word pull, so the antonym of pull is push. So without reading the previous sentences, we can make an intelligent guess that the previous sentence is talking about the push factors. And it makes sense because in the first sentence, there is a phrase, different perspective. So the push and the pull factors are discussed in the second paragraph. Now let's take a look at the third paragraph. Brain drain has negative impact on the sending country's economic prospect and competitiveness. Go to the last sentence. This has also negative consequences on tax revenue and employment. Okay, the first sentence talks about the negative impact, and the last sentence also talks about the negative consequences. they both referring to the same thing. So the bad effect of brain drain. Now let's go to the last paragraph, and this paragraph has to be read attentively, just like the first paragraph. Most of the measures taken so far have not had any success in alleviating the effects of brain drain. A more global view must take into consideration the provision of adequate working and living conditions in the sending countries. Another option should involve encouraging the expatriates to contribute their skill to the development of their countries without necessarily physically relocating. This last paragraph provides the solution or suggestion for the issue raised in the previous paragraphs. So even though we do not read sentence by sentence of this text by skimming, reading the titles, probably if the picture helps, you can take a look at the picture, and then reading the first and last paragraph attentively, also the first and last sentence of the other paragraph, you can get what is the text about. It's about the impacts of brain drain on developing countries. It is mentioned in the text about the push and pull factors, the negative consequences of brain drain, and also possible solution to the issues. By the way, this text is taken from myenglishpages.com. This is also a very nice website for you who wants to develop your reading skills.